He doesn't want to dawdle around, does he?
I mean, I think priority 1, 2, and 3 this week is reinforce the Fed's credibility. You don't want any questions about any political bias. So that's goal number 1 for Kevin Warsh this week, I think, which he should be able to execute beautifully. I think beyond that, if he does a press conference, I expect he will, but it's not a given. If he does a press conference, then that'll be his opportunity to lay out the priorities. What is he going to focus on first? I would imagine he wants to review all the economic models, the processes. He's going to review communication. He's already been very vocal about having less communication, think more, speak less.
It has been for years.
Yes,
It's not a new thing, Paul.
The balance sheet will wait.
Yeah. So, Rebecca, obviously he's got some level of pressure from the president, from the White House to lower rates, but boy, the data's not there. He's got a committee he has to deal with.
Yep.
Boy, I would think the messaging this week is as much for the rest of us, i.e. the market, maybe even more so for the president.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a difficult needle to thread here, right? Keep the president on his side, ideally, but build credibility and trust with his colleagues at the FOMC. I mean, and to your point on the data, I mean, right now, core PCE for May is tracking at around 3.3% year on year. If that's the number that comes in or something like that, there's no way they can cut rates anytime soon. And even if the Strait of Hormuz does open soon, which we all hope it does, and oil prices retreat further, you still have a strong economy, now probably stronger. You have inflation coming through the AI channel as well as other channels. And so it seems like the market pricing in the possibility of a hike makes a lot more sense. So that is going to be a challenge for Chairman Warsh, for sure.
How about the U.S. dollar here? We kind of came into the year, I guess the consensus on the street was for a weaker dollar, and then the war with Iran starts and we had that flight to quality like we typically see. Now what?
Well, the dollar, until the news over the weekend, was down against only 2 major currencies, the Norwegian crown and the Australian dollar, both big commodity exporters. It was stronger against everything else, primarily on rate expectations. Higher interest rates following higher energy prices and broader inflation pressures. Now that that is off the table, you have seen yields, as you guys just mentioned, down a little bit. You are seeing the dollar down a little bit today.
Yep.
And the question, again, it goes back to the Fed. Do we have a hawkish bias in the press conference this week or not? I think the rate expectations will continue to be pretty important for the dollar going ahead. And again, it's not just the U.S., right? 2 sides to every currency trade. We expect a Bank of Japan hike this week. The ECB, the European Central Bank, just raised rates. So it's not clear how much stronger the dollar gets.
Out of Florida and Johns Hopkins, I mean, there was this idea that if you end a war, even as Kaplan says, a middle war, the idea is you get a disinflationary tendency. So not Rebecca Patterson now at CFR.
Yep.
But if you're on Wall Street right now, in what's clearly a boom investment banking environment, do you just assume disinflation?
I wouldn't assume anything right now. Look, we have some tweets and some headlines suggesting that we have a step forward towards peace. But the deal isn't supposed to be signed till Friday. And even then, it's not clear yet if it sticks. It's not clear what the terms are going to be. I mean, Iran wants and needs funding. I think they could still pressure to have some sort of service fee to go through the strait. Not a toll, a service fee.
Right, and Paul, this is really, Rick Wilson just out on Twitter with just a scathing quick note, like, where are the details?
Yeah.
When do we get the details? I don't have an answer.
And we might not for 60 days, 90 days,
come
right?
on, they can't.
Right?
The markets will flip right around if we do that.
Well, they may do that, right? And that's the point. Oil has come down, stocks are up. Does it last? Do you want to chase it here? I mean, if we have peace, and it's certainly in both sides' interest to have peace. Iran desperately needs money. It needs to rebuild. The U.S. does not want oil at a 4 handle or 30-year yields at a 5 handle going into midterms.
Gold. Boy, it seems like just a cup of coffee ago, Tom would say, we were at $5,000 an ounce. We've seen a pullback here at 4,300 here.
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot of speculative money go into gold at the beginning of the year. We had a little bit of a parabolic move, so that was part of it. But the other part of it is we did have 2 big central banks, Russia and Turkey, selling. Russia sold for 4 months in a row. Turkey
Right.
was the biggest seller of gold in March, but those are the outliers. Central banks in general are continuing to buy.